Are you small but tough? Do you want to be tougher? Well, PRAAIM Mini Wireless. Good afternoon and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. PRAAIM series of mice. I have already tested, but I didn't get to test the wireless because that one's dongle decided, no, I don't really want to be a dongle anymore. And did the firmware update and it decided not to dongle. So yeah, I was like, hey, Steelseries, by the way, I've tested all of the PRAAIMs except for actually the Mini, which is the one that's actually different from the remainder, the rest. There are a couple of little differences between the layers on them, and they actually do make a difference, those little differences between the layers, but the PRAAIM Wireless Mini is completely different from its brethren. It's got completely different buttons, and the shape is similar, but is quite a lot smaller. So let's start off from the top with what you get in the box. So there's an adapter connector thing, so you can put in USB Type-C dongle on one side and cable on the other, so that can be sitting on your desk nicely over there. And well, dongle, wireless dongle for that. Quite an interesting shape and stuff, and it is 2.4 gigahertz channel and very, very long range. Typical Steelseries wireless. Their wireless seems to be pretty much the best in industry, if I'm honest. And then we have their ProFlex cable, their Steelseries edition of a ProFlex cable that can then connect to the front of the mouse like that, or into the dongle connecting block, which is the whole idea, is to have it sitting like that. So if you do need to charge, then you can just disconnect there, plug it into the mouse, carry on gaming for 20-30 minutes on the power over there, and then go back to wireless after the fact. So quite clever. And then obviously you get a mouse as well. Nice virgin level PTFE feet, as they're calling it, but they are very, very smooth, and glide and performance thereof really, really nice. I do really like that they put this around the sensor hole, because the edges of this can catch sometimes on the mouse pad, and well, if you're spending this kind of money in a mouse, you really don't want that to happen. On the bottom as well is a profiling button, which I've moved over there for your sensitivity and your profiles and stuff, which you can store on the mouse, and then the on-off switch is below that over there. And once you turn it on, you might notice the scroll lights up. That is the only lighting zone and the only customizable area on the mouse, because they're chasing battery life, which they did achieve by getting it to like nearly 100 hours. So with just the default light going, I actually haven't charged it since I started using it. I used it for like 2 full days while landing at a friend's house, and then continuously here as well for another day, and I still haven't charged the damn thing. It's still got battery life. So as far as chasing battery life goes, they've done a really good job thereof. 74 grams in weight as well, the mouse. Quite heavy actually for the size, and I can only put that down to all the sensors and batteries and everything going on in here to get you that. But 74 grams, like I said, it's heavy for the size, but it's still 74 grams. It's like a feather in the hand. So what about its mousiness as a mouse? Well, TrueMove Pro sensor, so that's perfect. There's absolutely nothing there to comment on besides it's pretty much the best sensor in the entire market. Then they've employed their own optical switches for the mouse buttons over here, which make quite a lot of noise. They definitely give a different feel and bounce back to a traditional mechanical. They do respond very quickly, is the idea, and there are individual buttons once again, so you can click them all the way back over here. If you're a color user, then you're going to be able to, well, you're going to be fine with that. Thumb button positioning and stuff is pretty good. It is right where I would want it to be. Although for my hand, this is, well, a little bit small. As you can see, it is getting a little bit too surrounded, as it were, and so it made it a little bit difficult for me to use, just based on like how I have to hold it, because it's like so narrow. My outside of my hand feels like it has to cup around it on the side there. I much preferred the full PRAAIM for my palm size, but it is still the same shape. So if you do have a smaller hand and you're looking for something ergo, it is very, very comfortable. All around, compared to its compatriots, performance, like I said, was almost identical. The feel, the thumb buttons, the normal buttons themselves, it all felt pretty good. The only thing being, well, it's small. And honestly, I prefer their mechanical switches to these opticals, just because it gives a little bit of a hollow feedback when you are clicking. And you can hear by the noise. Somebody's going to get annoyed with you in the office. It is very, very loud. The thumb buttons are much quieter. and do honestly have a little bit of a better feel than these two. It's not the end of the world. I mean, the scroll, everything is exactly what I experienced before. There's nothing really to report there. That feels good, you know, good enough. The button and stuff is responsive enough. Just not entirely sold on these optical switches. Full Steelseries engine suite and support as well. The button here, I mean, customizing the RGB on one RGB zone, cool and all, but main thing here is like the quality of those macros and the macro recording and your ability to adjust polling rates and all of that sort of stuff with the mouse. Really good customization. Steelseries engine is some of the better software that I do get to use, and being a Sensei 10 daily driver, these TrimRoof Pro sensors are like nothing else really. I like that Steelseries is made this size though. I think going a bit smaller accounts for more people across the world, because not everybody's a 6-foot mongoloid like myself. Anywho, that's all I have for you on the PRAAIM Wireless Mini. Just, yeah, like I say, guys, do take note of that size. I'll put a picture up of it with the Sensei 10 and with the Model O, so you can see just how small it really is. A mate of mine was looking forward to getting one of these, and it's just a little bit too small. I would say if you're, you know, over the sort of the 5.5 mark, you're probably going to want to bump yourselves up to the full fat PRAAIM. Anyway, that's all I have for you on the PRAAIM Wireless Mini. If you've enjoyed it, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.